Alright, y'all. Welcome back to Bro Sports Talk. If you're new to the show, consider subscribing to the channel and hit that notification bell to keep up with everything we upload. It will give us a big boost and it'll help us a lot. And if you're part of that lovely Spotify audience and you like what we put on there, then go ahead and give us that 5-star review. Not 4, not 3, not anything lower. Hit that 5th star. Let us know you love us. And lastly, follow us on Instagram to keep up with the pod. Alright, we'll be posting reels, all types of little shorts on there. And other than that, make sure you enjoy the episode. Much love. Well, we have some pretty interesting matters. You know, you guys are here on Bro Sports Talk with myself and my amazing co-host Ethan, and we're gonna go ahead and just talk about everyone's favorite black Nazi, uh, Kanye West. You know, you've said something crazy when Alex Jones is looking at you like, "Dog, you need to stop talking." I mean, how do you feel about him apparently looking up to Hitler?
Uh, Kanye, to me, man, I just think he's lost every screw up top, man. Ain't no way that a regular, normal person would put the swastika inside the Star of David and think that that's okay to just post and tweet about, especially knowing the history between that whole race group of Jews and Germans and all that. So I just think it's wild. I don't know what he's thinking. I don't think anybody really does. Not even a therapist he may or may not go see, which I don't think he does. But
I don't think Kanye himself knows what he's thinking at this point. This
that's
man said, "I can see good in all people, especially Hitler, especially a man that killed 6 million people of the same race." Like,
I guess you can kind of point out the fact that he got all the Germans to follow him and like take into what he said.
like it just throws you for loops. 'Cause like, I mean, he's obviously said some insane things like in recent years, and then like you get to this every time you're like, he can't top it. He can't top it. I think he officially can't top it.
I just think that, I mean, Hitler, you can say that he was a good leader, as in he got his people to act with him. He got them to like buy into what he was saying, whether or not they liked it or not. So I mean, that part you can kind of say that, but like again, the thing he did was an atrocity to the whole world, and I don't think that promoting that in any way, shape, or form is okay, especially from somebody of Kanye's like prominence. So
Yeah,
I just think he needs to like take about 150% off for there, and I don't care if you run for president, but that can't be your like your big go-to like political uh, propaganda or however you want to put it. I don't.
yeah.
You just can't say that.
He's making it hard for Kanye fans to just defend him because, like, I mean, I defended him at first, and then I quickly dropped off. I was like, I can still enjoy 808s and graduation, and
Yeah, I was about to
like,
say you can't really be a Kanye fan right now, especially with all
yeah,
this coming out
like,
about Kanye.
yeah, you can't just keep being like he made graduation because he also made a comment that Hitler was a good person. So I mean, eventually there's a point you get to where you're like, damn, bro, like I can't put my neck out for this one. Like I can't go to the guillotine for you on this issue. You you're unhinged. Like, he's unhinged. That's the best way to put it. He's
I
got
mean,
people thinking that the Kardashian family practices witchcraft to curse the men that they're involved with.
to be fair, I don't really listen to anything Kanye put out outside of like 2016. So it's like,
Oh, I stopped before that. I can't lie to you.
I mean, 2016, The Life of Pablo that came out. That was probably the last album I ever invested listening to Kanye. But I just think that it's just yeah, like you said, you can't really defend him anymore. Like it's gone too far. I mean, the whole thing with Pete Davidson too far.
I say
I,
like stalking this man and making it public, like unashamedly stalking someone is one of the craziest things I've ever seen in my life.
it makes me feel bad for his kids. Like that's what they have to grow up with. But I'm not
Exactly.
gonna question another man's like parenthood. I'm not gonna do that. I just think that it's questionable, and I'm not saying anything's wrong. Well, there's a lot wrong with it, but I'm not gonna bash him for it. But like that's just something they have to grow up with, and I mean, just something you feel bad about.
I really just I can't get fathom like what the shit this man does anymore. Like I was already at a point where it was like, what do you say? But now it's like, what does anyone say? Like, there's nobody that can do anything for him.
No, like
Like,
there's no helping him because like he's just acting stubborn. Like he's not gonna listen to nobody. Nobody's gonna change his opinion. So I mean, it's really tough. Like rock to be behind. So I don't know how it's going to go moving forward, but I mean, he's still got fans, and I mean, they're going to try their hardest to defend it, but at this point, you can't. So,
this man's become almost as like unsavable as R. Kelly. Like
ooh, that's hot. That is a hot take.
I said almost. Like you can't get no worse than R. Kelly. Like, like
But I
that's
do agree, he is on the verge. I mean,
I was gonna say like if one accusation comes out from a child, this man is done for. Like, it took years for them to take down R. Kelly. It'll be instantaneous for Kanye, but
well, I mean, I'm just waiting until people, with cancel culture being a thing. I'm just waiting on somebody to like speak against it, like. Just let the Jewish community like say one thing, like, "Oh, we don't like this," and then you'll never hear from Kanye again. Like,
yeah,
it's just ridiculous at this point. You can't go like saying stuff like this, knowing the trauma that these people and their ancestors have gone through. Like, you just can't.
that there's a limit, man. Like you can't just keep doing shit like this and expecting everybody to have your side. And,
Man,
and then like
if there,
to say stuff like this and then play the victim as well.
yeah,
Then you're being demonized and like unjustly. But take a step back and listen to what the fuck you're saying.
like if there was a line to be crossed, he crossed it and then kept running. So I mean, I
Yeah.
don't, like
Like
it's
he
tough.
crossed it and then dropped his phone and it started rolling the other direction and you're like, ah, damn it.
Yeah, it's just a big avalanche of just stuff coming with Kanye, but that just kind of leads us into another like crazed man, AB Antonio Brown,
Oh
very
yeah. That's
like
another psycho right there.
very difficult path he's taken over the past 2 3 years. He's got a warrant out for his arrest. So George, what do you think on that? And like just AB as a whole right now.
Man, like it, AB was one like at one point was like one of my favorite NFL players. Like I loved watching him on the field and there was like just something exciting about him. And then like the whole Buccaneers thing and just him like I'm not gonna compare him to like Kanye at all,
Oh no,
but like I think the charge I think we were talking about earlier was like domestic battery. It's like,
yeah,
come on, man. Like that's one thing that I always like I hate that, but I especially hate it from like pro athletes. Because like you're so much stronger than your average person. You know that it doesn't have to get to that point yet. Like and like the psychology behind it, in my opinion, is that he feels like the power has been being stripped from him from his life past 2 3 years, and he decided to exercise some power over somebody that he thought couldn't take it from him. Because that's how it goes in any domestic battery case and domestic violence case I could think of. It's just someone feeling powerful over someone else and decided to exact that. And I don't think that the things he's gone through should warrant him putting hands on someone. Now, I don't know the full story. If they came at him with a knife, then by all means, float like a butterfly, sting like a bee. If if it's like a dispute, verbal dispute, and then you decide to turn yourself into Ray Rice when the elevator door closes, well, that's too much. Like it's hard to look at him and think like man, he's still AB. Like nah, he's CTE AB.
Yeah, like I said, like you said, he went from being an NFL All-Pro receiver to like one of the best like guys in the league, just to straight. I don't. He's turned everybody against him. Yeah, I mean, recently you have the where he exposed himself to the woman in Dubai.
Yeah, in the poll. Yeah,
Yeah, you had that. You had the whole Giselle like lashing out at Tom Brady thing. I mean, how do you go against somebody who like tried to help you? I don't
yeah.
understand that aspect of it. But
Like he
again,
gave you a career again, man.
he gave you another opportunity. Like you had your chance at Oakland, you blew it, and then Tom Brady, perhaps the greatest quarterback of all time, like text you, hit you up, bring you into his own house, and they keep you and get you a job with the Bucks, and then you walk out on him. Like you just leave the field, you do your little thing, and then now you're doing all this. It's kind of hard, but it's not. I wouldn't put it like you. I wouldn't put it on the same level as Kanye, just because he could actually have like CTE or something that's affecting him mentally.
Yeah,
And I don't really know
like
if that's
that's like the one shred where you're like, okay, maybe like it's not him. Like
yeah,
whereas Kanye, you know, it's entirely him. Like
yeah. Like
Pete
he could.
Davidson said it the best because like Kanye was all about I'm off the meds. You know, all Pete Davidson said was take them. I do it. Like
Yeah. So I mean,
so
it's just
Kanye's doing Kanye because of Kanye. Where AB, he's doing AB, but we don't know if like his brain's messed up from football or if that's just truly who he is.
I mean, ever since the Vontae's perfect hit on AB, man, he ain't been the same. Like,
You can't be the same after that.
I mean, you get slumped like that on the field, like that was a very dangerous hit, and yeah, Vontae's
Oh yeah,
was, he was penalized like responsibly by the league for that, but I don't know, like it's just something you don't know. Like Kanye might have something mentally wrong with him, but he's not gonna share it. He doesn't talk to nobody because, like you said, he's
yeah,
just doing him. But
yeah.
AB,
Not
I mean,
just that, he's not going to treat it either.
no, no, no.
You
But
can't help somebody who doesn't want the help.
yeah,
Kanye
and
doesn't want help.
I kind of think that's the point. I don't know if AB knows if he needs help or not because I don't know if he, really knows what's going on. But again, yeah, he can't just be doing this stuff. Very, very wild stuff coming from AB.
Yeah, and like it sucks because like on a serious note, like I mean, how many like retired NFL players have we heard of like killing themselves or killing someone else because of what's going on in their head? And AB is like one of the players, one of my favorites in my lifetime. Where it's like I would hate to see that from AB. I'd hate to hear that and find out that AB shot himself or that he killed his wife and son and is on the run or something like that.
Yeah,
So I think he does need help, and hopefully he seeks it. And he's got a warrant out for his arrest, and like, you can only hope that God's hand is on him during that time.
yeah. I mean, it's the thing in both cases where it's like only a matter of time will tell. So
Yeah,
hopefully they both, do some deep self reflection and ask for help, search for help, get help, and then move on. Like, oh, it's a tough world we live in, guys. I don't
yeah.
know what else we say. Y'all see it, we see it. Y'all have your own thoughts on it, but
At
yeah,
the end of the day, only so much can be done.
yeah,
But we just talked about AB. To keep it with football, I know you've been keeping probably better track of this than I have. But the final games of the college football season.
Yeah, yeah.
We're at the tail end of it. So what are your thoughts on it?
Well, it's championship week, you know, this weekend, and we've already got to see USC play Utah, and a very, gutsy performance by USC quarterback Caleb Williams. Got hurt somewhere at some point in the game, and continued fighting, but it wasn't enough, and they ended up getting blown out by Utah, like 47-24, I believe. And I mean, it's just one of those things. You're the number 4 team. You have that expectation of you should have been in the game, but again, injuries came into play. It's not an excuse, but they did put up a fighting chance. But it will be interesting to see how the rest of this plays out with TCU, who is losing right now, 28-17 to Kansas State. They're number 3, so depending on what everybody else does later, it could really shake up the final playoff rankings for the season.
I hope best for my Tar Heels right now. Uh, pull it
Oh yeah,
off.
they played Clemson tonight at 8. What do you think?
I don't know. Like as a fan, you want to say that we could pull it off, but Clemson is just like they've been a decent team over the past few years. Like especially like with the AC like on ACC standards, they've been like kind of the top. So
I don't think kind of. I think they have been the top. They've been what the
yeah,
ACC strives to be.
yeah, yeah.
But
It's gonna be difficult uncrowning them. I do
yeah,
think we can do it. I mean, I'll find out at 8. You know, like that's the best thing
yeah.
I can really say. Like, but as
I
far as that,
just I just think that I mean the Clemson's had a down year. Lost to
yeah,
South Carolina last week. They've just had a very, I don't know, a pretty mediocre season so far. Nothing really to like go call home about for them. UNC, they've been in that conversation every like for the past 3 years now. Um, but I do think it will be a good game. Taking it from that, and then we got Georgia and LSU here at 4 o'clock here in the next hour. What's your thoughts on that? I know we've kind of had discussions with friends, Tennessee fans, previously
yeah.
about Georgia and like the season that they had, and LSU coming out of nowhere with a new coach, winning the West, and they're in the championship. So thoughts on that?
And there's nothing much I can say except for, oof. I I hate to like be the person that just rules teams out all the time, but this is a Georgia dub, man. Like, like it's just the case. You,
See, I
you
kind of, I
can't
kind
really
of hope.
say anything else because they've been dominant all season. Like every time someone's like, "This is the time." What about when they played this way against this team? They're not going to be able to hold that up against Tennessee or this or someone
Yeah,
else. And then they did it, and it's
that
like,
was, that was a big thing after the Missouri game. Was 26-22. Georgia snuck it out. Oh, they're questionable on this side of the ball. It's been a thing you've heard all season. As a
yeah,
Georgia fan, I mean, it's you just kind of listen to it and you're like, you pay more attention to your own team than you do others. So I mean, you kind of like you might have more confidence in your own team one week. I mean, with them winning the Natty last year, you just expect them to pull it out. And I mean, Stetson. I'm not a fan of Stetson Bennett. I haven't been for the past year. I've actually requested for them to bench him and play the backup quarterback, whether it was JT last season or Carson Beck this season. But you can't really hate on a guy as much as I do at him just consistently bring that grit and that attitude to just win games. I mean, he leads offense well. I mean, the defense after having the best defense in the country last year and losing 5 first-round draft picks on that side of the ball, and you still come out. They gave up in scoring defense. It was like 10.2 last season, and then it's at like 11.3. I mean, so a
yeah.
point differential over a year is kind of crazy with all the people they lost. But again, LSU they're playing tough football, man. They caught some heat in the last end of the season, so it'll be
Yeah,
interesting.
that thing is true that they did all of a sudden spark the hell up, and you're like, okay. Like, because I mean, hearing they beat Alabama was kind of crazy.
Nobody expected it because Alabama is Alabama. They have been for I don't know 12 years now. You can't really mark Alabama out of the playoff contention yet because I mean we still got to
Yeah,
see what TCU does and like what happens with the LSU Georgia game. Like they could still make the playoff easy. Alabama could. Ohio State probably will get in given that USC loss. But if TCU loses, I think Alabama gets in. But that's
and
just me.
part of the
I'm
reason I'm hoping for a TCU win right here, because I'm tired of seeing Alabama in the damn playoffs and out for a title. You know what I mean? Like, let somebody else have it. I don't fuck with Alabama like that.
I mean, like I said, Georgia fan. I mean, I've ran into Alabama over the past 6 seasons, 7 seasons. It's always been it's Alabama, and Georgia ended up getting their ass beat every time, except till like last year, which they did get their ass beat in the championship game, and then they go and they win them. They play them again in the Natty, and they win. Alabama's been the standard for everybody, whether it's SEC, Pac-12. You strive to beat Alabama because they're always there. Uh, Same thing with Clemson, but Clemson again on their down downward slope. I think they don't have. I don't think they'll really return to that same run they had. Um, Alabama, it will be a good thing to see after this season because I don't know exactly how their quarterback will play out.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all I got on that. But hopefully Georgia pulls out the win tonight. I am a Georgia fan, so yes, I am going to be biased here. Sorry, not sorry.
Hey, I think anybody with eyes is seeing that the dogs is different. That defense is gonna be hard to deal with. And when Stetson's on his A game and Brock dropped this cock on your head Bowers is going absolutely dumb. Like,
Hey, shout out to Brock Bowers. Shout out to the other tight end, Darnell Washington, who's definitely playing the wrong sport. You can't tell me no 6'7", 270-pound man moves like that, but crazy to me. But yeah, hopefully they get it together tonight. I know they will, but I don't know. They've played down to a lot of opponents this year, so it'll be a good game.
speaking, like we talked about like LSU shocking us and TCU and North Carolina. Uh, there's some shocking developments in the NBA, in my opinion, with these standings. I know, like in previous episodes, I said I expected big things from the Pelicans, but but right now they're third in the West, and also the Kings are seventh in the West. Like we're seeing
Uh,
teams like the Thunder, who I thought were going to come up, like way down there at 13. The Mavericks, who are in a way like struggling. Everyone's talking about like the Lakers being so bad, but the Mavericks are barely above them. And
yeah, the Lakers are only a game behind the Mavs. I said that before the season started. I was like, the Mavs haven't really built anything around Luca. Like it's just, oh, Luca's going to have the ball. You know he's going to score his point. He's going to get his. But like until they get fundamental pieces around him, I don't see them going past like a first, second round like exit. Like that's just me. I know y'all had different opinions. Maybe I don't recall.
I
But
don't I don't know what I said either, but I do think that Luca he I mean he's a great player. Don't get me wrong, but I think he needs to learn to defer in unselfish ways.
I don't know. I mean, he doesn't seem, statistically, he doesn't seem selfish because he's averaging damn near a triple double. I mean, I know that's a useless, stat, but I mean, he gets assists, he involves his teammates. I just don't think his teammates are necessarily on the same.
Yeah, I was gonna give that counterpoint where he doesn't necessarily have the best options to defer to.
I mean, he's got what Maxi Kleber, uh, Spencer Dinwiddie. I mean, that's probably your next two significant players on the team. And then other than that, it's just a bunch of fill-in guys and then role players. But I don't know. It'll be interesting how the rest of the season plays out. One thing that's really surprising me right now is not the Nuggets or not the Nuggets, not the Pelicans, not the Mavs. It's really the Warriors at 12 and 11. That's really what is getting me right now.
Yeah,
'Cause,
them not doing better is a little bit shocking.
yeah,
And
like
yeah,
I'm
I
not.
was gonna mention. I think
I
we all like. Oh, go ahead.
don't know. That's you. I cut you off.
No, I was just saying. I think we all like kind of predicted a Suns fall off, and
They still there.
that
They're still up
yeah,
top.
still number one. You know, Chris Paul out here. Chris and Devin are sitting there at the Kardashian house watching the game. And
Nah,
I guess that's just the fuel they needed.
you ain't gonna tie that back to Kanye, man, calling CP3 out like that. Oh, I thought we was over Kanye, but nah, continue. I was
I
just kidding.
know Kanye. I mean, if we're gonna bring Kanye into it, I'm gonna laugh real hard when I see him in the court side of a Suns game with that mask on,
Yeah,
trying to injure
oh,
Chris Paul the way that fan injured Lamelo.
hey, man. To be fair, that fan didn't really do anything wrong in my opinion. He just enjoyed his courtside seats. I
Yeah,
mean, where else he supposed to put his feet, man? If that's what you're trying to say, then like back the courtside seats up a bit. Like I don't know what's to say. That was just
well, Lamelo, get some high tops. Damn. Like, how many times are you gonna fuck up your ankles before you wear a brace or get some high top?
yeah. I don't know, man, but I'm not gonna blame the fan on that one because he was just sitting there. He paid for the ticket. He's enjoying his time. It's just unfortunate timing.
Yeah, I really hope he don't live in Charlotte because if so, uh,
I'll hunt him
he
down.
most likely died that day. Like,
He had to get police escorted out the
yeah,
arena.
pretty sure it was the Charlotte announcer who did it. Like, I
Man,
feel
they're
like
now.
that man is way
I
too
would.
charged up.
I need to know how much they get paid there in Charlotte because they got to get paid like more than any other NBA like announcer for a team.
You know, for them to be that happy and that left aghast by everything someone does.
I was about to
Oh my
say,
goodness!
I do. Although Miles Bridges ain't on the team anymore, it's just like you just think back to all the times. It was a oop to him and from Lamelo, and it's just like oh, and they go crazy.
Diddly D!
Like it could be the
Now
most like small thing. Like it could be like a
they're doing
simple
that with
cross.
like Kai Jones now. Like he did like a basic reverse and the Kai Jones. Like, okay, we've seen that.
Yeah,
Like
make it like it's a half court shot or some like posters. I was like, come on, man. But shout out to the Charlotte's announcers, bro. They
shout out
got
to Charlotte Hornets announcers, man.
they get bang.
Not doing the most, but y'all doing the damn thing.
Oh yeah, they doing their job. So we talked about the West a little bit. Is there any closing notes you want with them, or do you want to talk about the East?
No, like with the East, I was about to say the Cavaliers are sitting at 3 right now, and like I'm really just trying hard to not do this because everyone knows that I'm a very biased Celtics fan, but I'm so damn proud of my boys.
Here we go, man. Here we go.
Chilling at the top of the East with the 18-5 right now, man.
All of that just to get Giannis and his lick back here in the playoffs.
No, we taking them down,
I
but
mean you did, but I don't know. Giannis gonna get his lick back, so I don't really know.
the, this team that's looking scary to me right now is the Hawks. I know
Man, fuck the
before the
Hawks.
season started,
Fuck
I
the
was
Hawks.
not I was not sold, and Dejounte Murray is currently starting his anime villain arc, being a dickhead, like touching people's heads like it's not the Rockets,
Yeah.
and they lost. Like, that's the other thing. They lost. It's like when
That
people talk
is.
about Kevin Durant laughing at the Magic. It's the Magic
Yeah, the Magic have been very
Don't
poverty since I
I want
don't
to see
even.
him laugh at Giannis while he scored. Like,
I I don't know, man. I just the most surprising thing for me, I guess, out of the East is not the top three, the top five. Probably for me right now, the Bulls at 12. You got all the star power. I mean, Lonzo's out. I mean, they don't know when he'll be back, but like, you still have Zach LaVine and DeMar
yeah,
with Nikola Vucevic holding down the
yeah,
paint. And yeah, they're only at 9 and 13 right now, sitting at 12 in the East. Like, that's kind of been like an underperforming team in my opinion because I figured they would have been
absolutely.
top five. And we can't disregard the fact that the Magic are about to have the biggest starting lineup in the NBA next season with Bobo, Vic, Paolo Banchero. Man, Bobo's running point. Y'all can't convince me he not. So
They're about to go Franz, Paolo, Bobo, uh, Vic, and Mo Bamba.
yeah, yeah, fuck. We don't need no damn guards. We got a bunch of big men, man. Man, I'd love to see it. At least one game. Just like I don't even care if it's like a preseason scrimmage. I don't give.
That would be
Just let me see it.
so damn funny.
Just
You
let me see it.
understand how much laughter would leave my body.
You know, the thing is with Vic, people don't realize Bobo still got that. He's got that same energy with him. He can bring the
Oh
ball
yeah,
up. He got all the things. He got the playmaking badges. He got the defensive rebounding badges. He got the scoring badges, the finishing badges. I mean, shit.
no,
What can he not do?
Bobo ain't never been no scrub. I think that's what people keep forgetting.
Yeah, like he's kind of just being brushed under the rug. Like I don't know if that's because of who his dad was. I don't know if it's just the name. People held him to higher standards of expectations. I don't know, man, but like, yeah, he's always been an under the radar, role player. And for me personally, the man was a menace on 2K18, automatic green. But yeah, that would be funny for me to see at least one time, but just a start
I
lineup
want to
of
see that
all seven.
massive ass lineup. Like, man,
And then I probably got one more question for you, man. The
what's that?
76ers at 7, at 12 and 11 right now. Do you think
Think they're
like
being way too overhyped just because they picked up Harden.
I'm t- like I was about to say, we talked about this before the season, and we've been trusting the process since Joel got there. I mean,
Yeah.
how much longer do you think the trust is going to last with Philly and their fans, and the front office with Joel or Harden, or do they just keep both and keep building and just make trades or whatnot?
See, like I think they're just casting the support in Philly wrong. If you're gonna make Joel a star, you can't put him with a such a ball dominant co-star. If anything, you need like a defensive co-star, like someone who's still gonna get their bucket, but gonna be there to take the pressure off of him on the defensive end and allow him to shine the way that you know Philly knows he can. As far as like Philly fans trusting the process, these are the same motherfuckers that booed Santa. Like, I'm convinced that you can't make Philadelphia fans happy. Like,
I just know that I mean, Philly is obviously Philly. A lot of energy there. A lot of good things going on for the city right now with the Eagles, and
yeah, I rock with Philly, but they sad as hell.
I just
They're so upset. What happened? You're supposed to be the city of brotherly love, and
they're just so
instead you're
angry.
the city of raining fire from above. Like, why?
Well, you mentioned you wouldn't pair him with a ball dominant guard, and you pair him with more of a defensive you know player. But who in the league do you think that's like not in a set position, like with a set team? Like who do you think they could pick up for that, and who do you think would be the best fit?
Honestly, man, I would see like Joel and a Lou Dort playing very well together. Or
Interesting.
if if they could pull like Jaron Jackson out of Memphis, like somebody that'll get their bucket when necessary, but is really there to take the defensive pressure off of Joel. Like I mentioned Lou Dort because you do see Joel having to put up like perimeter defense a lot this season, and you shouldn't have to do that. And then like
Yeah.
obviously, Jaren Jackson and Joel to the same paint is unfair.
It is unfair, but how much do you think they would have to, give away just to snag Triple J from the
Their bench, and the next 9 picks they'll get in the draft.
and is
The,
do
it's
you think that's
notoriously difficult to trade with Memphis,
yeah, I
and
mean it kind of has to be since they're such a small market team. I mean, they're
yeah,
on the come up, but like you can't just like they're gonna ask for your whole arena, your team name. You got to change your team
yeah,
name,
give them,
relocate.
I would say, give them the cameraman, um,
I want the
washing
announcers.
facilities, um,
I want the
yeah,
practice facility. I want the city in
give you
general.
the G League team.
It'll be again. That kind of just goes to the Rudy Gobert trade. That's just they gonna
Yeah,
ask
that's what I'm saying. Like we've all been saying it like for six damn near 6 months now. Like that
let's
trade
see.
messed up everything. Like, getting
Next,
that much for Rudy Gobert. Rudy Gobert is a great player. Don't get it twisted. But
I don't
getting
know.
that much for him is insane.
It's just one of those things, man. Because the Timberwolves right now, I don't know if it's still chemistry, getting that up or what, but they're still sitting at 500 at 11-11.
Yeah. And they got dug out by Porzingis the other day.
Oh, they got done
Uh,
in. I seen that
like
rear high.
that was crazy. Kristaps was putting ham bone work on them.
Also, shout out to Chris Oz, man. He finally put a beard on his face so he didn't look like a damn 7'3" fucking baby.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. That's just the one thing I
Yeah.
just that man had a baby face for the longest time.
Speaking of babies, we got fucking babied by the Netherlands today in World Cup
Yeah,
ball, bro.
I heard,
Three,
man.
got 3-1. I was doing research so I could say evil things about them, and we won, and then we didn't. And I just looked up stuff about Netherlands culture for nothing.
Yeah. See,
And
we,
now I'm
we
out here like I got to root for Portugal now.
yeah, when we drew when the U.S. had a draw with the UK, man, Twitter went crazy.
Yeah,
You
that was
know,
insane.
the
And then when we
memes,
beat Iran, they went crazy
man.
too. Is this your
Twitter,
first fight? No, it's my last.
guys, if you're listening and you're hearing this, you got a Twitter, man. Just go ahead and delete your account, man. Y'all, people don't need to be they don't need to be on Twitter, man. That's a dangerous place to be, man. You'd be finding some outlandish things you never thought you would
I
see on, man.
say you, people scrolling through it will be like a KSI tweet, and then something out of pocket, a World Cup reference, the Queen's dead, and then some girl getting dug out. I'm like,
I'm
oh,
telling you, listen, man. After the draw, like I
Twitter's
said.
algorithm is crazy.
I hopped on Twitter, man, after the draw. Man, people had resparked all the Queen's Dead memes, all the Revolutionary War pictures, bro. Like, come on, man, this shit was too much. I mean,
They were doing the absolute most.
this shit makes me laugh, but like sometimes, man, Twitter just needs to chill, man.
Okay, when we beat Iran, bro, I was looking outside, like ducking every time a plane went by because like if I'm an Iranian and I saw some of the things that people were saying about my country in America,
That
I'm
would have been
renting
worse.
a plane
That would have
and
been
blowing
that
this place up.
that would have been World War with a C4 packed around my chest, man. I'd tell you, bro.
Like I gotta get my ones because we was on Twitter saying some crazy stuff, and I was mad mainly because I got beat to it, but also because clearly these people don't give a damn about my life. for them to go
Oh
piss
yeah.
off people that already hate our country.
I mean, you say that, but I don't think all of them hate. But like, if I was an Iranian of Iranian descent and I seen Twitter after that, man, I might gain a little bit of hatred towards Americans just because I don't even like Americans really.
That's what I'm saying. As an American, I kind of don't fuck with them. Like,
We say some of the craziest shit. It's out of pocket. I just, I just think some people.
it don't be making sense.
It does.
But like on a serious like World Cup note, like I thought I'd just give my top three right now. Like obviously because I apparently I'm part Portuguese. That's who I'm rooting for. Uh, but my number two would probably be Japan because all they got to do is win one game and they'll have gone farther than their nation ever has in the World Cup. So I'd love to see it. I'd love to see that history being made. And then back on the topic of history, Argentina with Lionel Messi. The one thing that's eluded Lionel Messi his entire career is a World Cup dub, and like everyone knows that he was like very like he idolized Diego Maradona, and he could complete a whole like Maradona sequence if he gets this World Cup dub. So if neither of those two teams wins it, I'd love to see that happen for Lionel Messi in his final run at it.
Man, see, I wish I was like you, Ed, man. I don't know too much about soccer just because I was partially a naff and really didn't like running a whole lot. And it's never piqued my interest, but like hear y'all talk about it, it seems pretty interesting. But and that's why I appreciate y'all's feedback or not input really. Oh, it's soccer because I don't know. That's y'all. I got my things, y'all got yours, man.
I would say it did take me like a little bit to get interested in soccer because I used to just hate the fact that motherfuckers would lay on the ground for 2 minutes and hold their knee when they got kicked in the back. Like, come on, man, you're not trying to win an Oscar. Get the hell up. But when you like see, I guess I just started to fall in love with like the artistry of certain sequences, and yeah, but it did take me a minute to really enjoy it. But yeah, now
I
that I do, it's very it's pretty fun to watch, especially
was
like
about to say,
players like Gareth Bale and Christian Pulisic. And Aiden Hazard is one of my favorites right now. Kai Havertz for Chelsea, if he's still there, I can't remember.
I don't know. I just know that the one thing I watch soccer for is for slide tackles. I like seeing people get tackled, man. I don't care if it's just straight wrecked or if it's a cleat to the shin, snap their leg. Man, I don't. That's the only thing I find interesting. Maybe it's just I might be a violent person. I might not be. No,
No, I'm not
nobody.
gonna lie. I can't act like I didn't watch those highlights.
Just I don't know, man. It's just that's just kind of what you get, man, for running around kicking a ball around for 90 minutes. No, I'm just playing. No, I'm just playing. Well,
You got
I
any
would
closing thoughts?
I would just like to say this is a live update here. TCU tied the game 28-28 with a minute
Okay.
51 in the game.
Okay.
I just, oh man, I hope they lose because I really, out of all the teams we could play, Georgia could play in the playoffs. I probably don't want to play TCU because they just find a way to win, man. They really do. Like they could be like they was down 21 17, and then or Kansas State went up 28-17, and they came back. It's just a lot of like toughness that you don't really see all that often in this sport. I mean, especially now with all the penalties in place to protect players and whatnot. You just don't see that physical toughness from a lot of teams. But that's probably my closing thought on that. If you got anything, go ahead.
Nah, that's pretty much it. Just y'all should stay tuned to the World Cup. Y'all should stay tuned to the NBA, college football. Uh, let's pray for Kanye and AB. and pray for success for us so we can quit our jobs, feed us, pay us, support us on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and everywhere else you could get this. Follow us on Instagram. DM us suggestions. I mean, do it all. Give us the works. We're trying to be the number one podcast in the world. I need a Manscaped sponsorship. I'm trying to put a skylight frame in my kitchen and not have to pay for it. Give us some help. Other than that, man, we love y'all, and we've been Bro Sports Talk.
Peace out, man.
Guys, as we head out, we'd like to thank you all for listening to our podcast. Like and subscribe on YouTube. Leave a 5-star rating on Spotify. It really helps us out. While you wait on the next episode, feel free to check out our other episodes on the channel. See y'all next time.